everyone, it's Heather with Ideas to Come, and Paula had asked me, and she's Paula 98 on YouTube, that's her channel, I'll put that in the down bar, had asked me to do something on polymer clay because she didn't know that much about polymer clay, and she heard me mention it a lot and show a few things on there because I use some of this stuff on my projects. This is my polymer clay case. It's actually a jewelry case, and this is what I use to keep my clay in and some of my tools. You can buy clay, Paula, at any most places sell it, even Walmart, I think, but the best place is probably Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And this is just one particular brand, Craft Smart brand, and that's the brand I buy. Of course, my clays have been in here for a while. I haven't messed with them too much lately, but the one brand that I really like, and that's because they have really cool colors, and it's just it's a more expensive brand, but is Primo. And on each one of these it has instructions, and I have to wear glasses because I can't read that little bitty print. But each one of these has instructions on how to go about baking them. That's not the instructions, sorry guys. The other one's, it's on here. On this one, let me see. It's usually on the edge right there, and this, on mine, everything that I bake at 275 for 15 minutes because it says on there 1/4 of an inch thick for 15 minutes longer if it's thicker, but most of my stuff is 1/4 of an inch anyways. One thing you might want to purchase, and they sell these with the polymer clay, it's a razor, and these are really handy, and I'll show you how I use that pretty soon. This a little rolling pin, and you want something that you don't use on your food because the chemicals on the clay are unhealthy for you, so you don't want to get any of this near your food. This came out of my son's Play-Doh set, so I stole it from him. He knows I have it, so I guess it's not stealing, but he likes clay as well, so we work on stuff together. But here's a few other tools that you can purchase, and I don't really use those. I probably could, and some of my stuff would probably come out a little bit smoother, but I made a few tools. This is a razor blade, and this is polymer clay, and so I have quite a few little tools for it. But anyways, when I started doing this actually before a lot of the other stuff, I needed molds, so I purchased molds on Etsy. This is one of my molds. It's a cameo mold, and smaller cameos. I like cameos. Have I said that before? And this is a flower, so I had bought those on Etsy from some people that make molds, and then I learned about making your own molds and went crazy. They have this what's called Amazing Mold Putty, and I'll just go back so you can see that, and it's usually about $20 at Hobby Lobby or at Michael's, and I've seen it at both, so they do both carry it. They come in little containers like this. Mine are actually upside down because I like to store them like that, so they're easy to get to. But you take an equal part of each, and you mix them together just like you would the clay. You mix them together, and you gotta do it fairly quickly. Once you see that the white and the yellow are mixed, you have to have whatever you're gonna mold, you have to have that ready, so you can just push that down in there. I was trying to see this one because I've actually already done one. This one right here. And you just put your key in there, and that particular key is in hiding right now. But you put your whatever you're gonna mold, and you press it down in there. And I usually do it on a glass surface like this glass that I have here. And you press it in till you're pretty satisfied with it. And it's kind of a teach yourself kind of deal, however you want to do it. And then you leave the key in there, and or the object in there, and you let it harden for 25 minutes. And then once you're done, you pick it up, you pop out the key, and there you are. You have a mold. I just made this one a few days ago. And that's some keys. I had bought in some keys from Michael's, and I really didn't, they're expensive, so I thought, you know, but I thought I bought them in mind of making molds, so they're not getting used, they're actually making molds. And here's some of the keys that I made, and I tried to make this video and I just totally messed it up the other day, so hopefully this one's better. There's my little keys that I made from a mold. And I did want to mention that if you're gonna do this, you need, one thing you really need is baby wipes, because the chemicals in the clay will not wash off with soap and water. So you have to wipe your hands with a baby wipe, and then you can wash your hands, or maybe some alcohol or something like that. And that you have to do in between each colors, because you will spread the colors together if you don't. So, and then you also need, some people use a toaster oven. I use my regular oven and use my toaster oven tray in there, and you just put them on there and bake them for 15 minutes and then let them cool. First of all, you have to make, I did this one already before I started. You have to work the clay to make it really super soft, otherwise it's not going to pick up the impression very well. So I just put it in there, and then I will put it on the plate and push it down. Sometimes it'll stick to the plate, sometimes it won't. And then there you go. You have that. And then with this tool, then I'm gonna trim it. And you don't necessarily have to trim it. Necessarily, you can wait until it's done baking. You can leave it in the mold and bake it right in the mold, just like that. But I like to trim mine before I put them in. If you don't trim them before you put them in the oven, then you're gonna have to file it. So you're gonna have to have like a little nail file or something to file it down, which is probably pretty easy, but I don't like how they look when they've been filed. I don't like how they look. They didn't come out too well for me. So I'm cutting off the excess, not necessarily how I would do it, but it's coming off. So cut all that off, and then I'm going to put it in the tray, and that'll go into the oven with other stuff. Sometimes I save quite a few until it's time to bake, and I'll just cut that out with my X-Acto knife or whatever. And then after they're done baking, you can either leave them like this, it doesn't matter, or you put a finish on it. Now they have a finish that you can buy specifically for the Polymer clay. At the time I was doing it, I didn't know, I just knew it was a varnish, and so I bought this varnish, and there's several different kinds that you can buy, but this is what I purchased at Michael's to put on the top of my clay. And this I have a bunch of clay stuff that I've done. I have a lot more. Some of it I've already used on projects. A little bow. So it comes out pretty neat. Some of these things you can make your own mold, or you can just use, stuff. Oh, and the other thing is, you can also purchase at Michael's or at the Hobby Lobby. I think I found mine at Michael's. Little cookie cutters. They're like cookie cutters, and you can use them to cut your clay. So those are, I have some of those as well. So that is it. You can also, there's several other things that you can get. My clay right now is pretty hard because it's been sitting in there for a while. And so I bought clay softener to soften up my clay. And that way it's a lot easier on the hands. But, so you can make your own molds with Amazing Mold Putty, or you can just buy them from Etsy. There's a lot of good molds on Etsy, so wanted to share that with you. I think that was it for right now. I don't know if I shared you with this on another video, but this is the polish that I buy from the Dollar Tree. and when it's almost empty I fill it up with clear, and sometimes there's still some glitter in there, and I just use my same eyeshadow that I got at the Dollar Tree. I put it in there with it, and it made a really pretty color that I can use on my flowers. You all know I use that on my flowers, but here's some of the flowers that I've made with my Polymer clay, and these are out of that mold that I showed you that I bought. I made a bunch of stuff, and some of the stuff I've already given away or used, but you can make some pretty cute stuff with the Polymer clay to use on your projects. So that's it, guys. Hope that helps, Paula, and thanks for watching, and please leave a comment. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.